start the day right in order to have a blessed week. Good Morning Mercy was the song by Jason Grab, and he got us into that Monday feeling dance. We always say have a Friday feeling dance. Well, what about having a Monday feeling dance? Lindy Kofa featuring Matt Redman before that with People Get Ready, and CRC Worship before that with the God of the Overflow. The time is just gone, 16 minutes past 11 o'clock here on Link FM, and this is Reaching Higher with myself, Bantu Pongani. It is a motivational Monday. I was going so well until that tongue twister. Hey, it is a Monday indeed. But I'm not alone in the studio right about now, because on a Monday we get encouraged, with our career growth, with our career aspirations, with the beautiful Kordani. Welcome back, Kordani, and thank you so much for being such an inspiration to us and also encouraging us on our career growth. So welcome back, Kordani, and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I think I love it here. I was so excited to see you because I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
Yes, yeah. But unfortunately, your kid got sick over the past weeks. Yeah. But you're still standing, you're still going, Mommy. Well done.
It's been hectic. I was also sick,
Hey.
I don't know, there was a bug going around in East London, and a lot of parents were sick. So my baby was in hospital for some few days, and then after he was discharged, I got sick. It's just been hectic.
But because God is good and you are here, you are both of you not in the hospital, you are both at home and you are living.
And we are healthy.
Amen. Because God is good.
Definitely. God is good all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So let's recap last week's conversation that we had with you, what you were sharing last week. That is career development. Let's recap last week and then we'll start today's session.
Yes. We actually spoke a lot on differentiation rule. Oh, tongue twister.
I know.
A differentiation rule that you should understand where your position, what your position is at work.
All right.
Differentiation rule talks about 70-20, 10% rule. Where do you fall under? Do you fall under the 70% with everyone or employees in the department that are rated average, or do you fall under the 20% with high competent employee that are in line for promotion or in the high salary increase, or are you with the 10% that is frustrated, ready to resign, or could get fired at any time? So where do you fall under? So it's quite important that you really identify your position where you are, because that would help you with development. Yeah.
So now who then gets these stats? Like who comes up with these stats? Like how do I know, okay, I fall under this and this? Who came up with those stats?
I mean, I think it's everywhere. Not that there's like stats that are written somewhere, but it's just the feeling. Like you can see with your performance. I think a lot of companies do performance review.
Yes.
And the way you are rated should also, if you are rated low, you should also understand why, and how are the other people rated, or why, so that you can also follow up on development. The manager or the person rather who's rating you that rate, you should also follow up on where can I improve. If are you giving me this low, don't just leave it as it is, because oftentimes when people are given a rate or they are rated maybe a 2 out of 5, which 2 means that you're not competent, and then 5 means that you are maybe excellent. So now with the 2, you should always find out what is it that I need to do to get to a 5. Don't just leave it as it is, because like an office has different characters, and some people would sometimes people talk better about their managers, which also distract you from focusing on your growth. And now when you're having a 2, you might link it to your manager's personality, but not really where, like, asking your manager, what can I do to improve to become a 5? So I think with that rating, you can also see where you fall under between the 70-20 10% rule, although it is not clearly stated, but it's quite important that you understand your position. I always look at it as if we rated like it used to happen in high school, for an example. There was number 1, and then
the last candidate.
Yes. That's also the same in the office,
Oh
but
my
it's
word.
not. But it's not written. It's not in black and white. But who gets promoted?
Okay.
Number one gets promoted. So that's why you need to know where you stand. Are you number one or you number last? And then if you are very frustrated, automatically you know that you are in the 10%.
Okay.
So like frustrated as in you're not getting along with your manager. You
You're
feel
not
like
performing.
you're not performing.
All right.
You job hunting, because there are some people when they get to work their job hunting know that you fall under the 10%. So that's how you can actually identify where you fall under within this differentiation rule. So it's quite important, because if you identify where you fall under, then you are able to understand where you need to improve if you're not in the 20%. And I mean, everyone's ideal position is to be in the 20% or to be in the number one. How do you get there? So that's where you need to ask yourself a lot of these questions in terms of position. Where are you?
So it's very good then. Are you saying that to rate yourself,
Yeah.
but then over and above that, get like your manager to somebody else to give you that performance review? Because I can give myself 100%, but meantime, I'm not giving 100%.
Correct. That's why feedback is very important. I always seek for feedback so that I understand how I'm performing.
All right.
Because the way I look at myself as an A. If we're talking about being a student, as an A student, and then whereas somebody else, like maybe in another department, who's seen me presenting, rates me as like out of 5, rates me as a 1. You know, so it's quite important that you seek for feedback from your manager, or do a 360 degrees feedback, where you can get feedback from your colleagues as well, so that you get a true reflection of how you are
performing
and how you're performing. So it will help you to really have that continuous growth. Continuous growth is very important. Don't allow yourself to feel like to get stuck or hit a ceiling, because continuous growth is vital. And we are all, we all
want to strive to grow and become better people.
Correct.
You know, wherever we are, you don't want to get stagnant, because then when you get stagnant, you then start degrading, if I'm using the right term. You start deteriorating, and then you're not going to perform when that is happening in your environment. Now, going back to what you're mentioning, like now you've got the feedback, you've got this rating, and then you go to that person who rated you, and now you want to find out how can you improve. By the way, maybe you don't agree with what they put there, but it's not out of your personality that they're rating you. It's out of your performance, your work performance, because that's what you're here for, not because of your personality. It is about your work performance.
I think reflection is very important. Reflection helps us to be in touch with ourselves, because we overlook at our performance because we want to be at the top, but we're not really in touch with reality. So reflecting is very important. It's quite important to also know the difference between constructive criticism or rather feedback, and destructive feedback. So you need to know from the people that you're seeking feedback from, do you trust them? Do you think they would give you constructive feedback that would help you to grow? If they give you feedback and you know that is constructive feedback and you feel like you don't agree with it, I think it's quite important that you sit and reflect. You'll really get in touch with reality. I can relate to that. It happened to me before. And I remember when I went to one of my, not my managers, but managers in the department, to ask, hi, I'm taking on this new position. It's a management role. It's my first time. I don't know what is expected. What advice would you give me? And she said to me, I don't doubt your management skills. I don't doubt your technical skills. But one thing that I can advise you is to look into your presentation skills.
Wow.
You have to improve on that.
Wow.
And then I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, the way you talk as if somebody understands what you're saying.
Wow.
So you need to expand on that. And that feedback, it was not the first time I was getting it. I had gotten it from my husband first.
Okay.
And he was like, when you talk, sometimes you expect me to understand what you are saying.
So they were aligned. They were aligned.
They were very much aligned.
Different environments, but same
feedback.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I had been presenting for, I don't know for the longest, I don't know for how long. But you see, me getting that feedback, I would have not taken it and improved. After getting that feedback, I went and attended a course powerful presentation, which helped me to improve on my presentation skills
Okay.
and also how I prepare for my presentations. So that really helped me a lot. And looking at it from her, it was more of a, is she really serious about this feedback?
Okay.
I thought, I was good at presenting, but really getting in touch with reality
Yes.
and just thinking back also,
And not being in denial.
and not being in denial also. So I
Mm.
had to literally measure my growth as well. So
Okay.
that's why mentorship is very important. I also did ask her for feedback after I had done the course, and then we are sometimes in the same rooms, like for meetings or where I'm presenting. I would ask her for feedback, and also from my mentor, I told her this is the feedback that I've been given. What have you seen any change? To seek that continuous feedback so that I see continuous growth in myself, because we are all work in progress.
Yes, yes.
So if you really don't seek for feedback, you won't be able to see your blind spots.
Yes.
And if you can't see your blind spots, or you can't work on your blind spots, then it will be hard for you to get that continuous growth.
And then you wouldn't then fall in that 20% of which we're striving to be. So if you're tuning
Correct.
in, listeners of Link FM, we're having a chat with Kordani, who is the founder of Corporate and Career Hub.
Yeah,
And
Career and Corporate Hub.
you see, I was practicing in my head which one goes first, but it's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, and you know what? You are so, always sharing the information that is required in order for us to be people that are striving to grow in their careers.
Correct.
A thought that came into mind as you were differentiating the different, categories of employees. One thing that we always struggle to do, okay, not always, some of us do,
Yeah.
when we want to get an increase, we're talking about if you're on the 20, you fall in the 20% that is performing, you feel as that you're performing and you deserve an increase, and then you don't get that increase, and now you want to approach your manager and say to them or your boss, but boss, I feel as though I've fallen under the 20% that deserves an increase. Okay, not deserves. That should get that increase, not deserves. Let's use terms that will make them feel like they came up with this idea. So how do we then present it to that manager to say, with the performance and the rating, perhaps that your feedback that you've given to me, I feel as though that what I'm earning is not in par with my performance that I'm giving.
Yeah, I mean, very important when you talk about salary increase or for you to fall under the 20%, it's quite vital that you show proof. That's why your work should be aligned with your manager. Like your scope, your daily tasks, your projects should be reported to your manager. You should speak for your work.
Okay.
So that when you talk about salary increase, then your manager is aware of the tasks that you have done. You don't have to go back. But it's quite important that you compile a report and you present why you think you deserve to be in the 20% or you deserve to have an increase. Because a lot of people, when they talk about increase, they talk about, the economy is so bad, I need an increase, I've got 5 kids that I need to support, I need an increase. That does not justify an increase. You need to show the value that you've added in the company, and then talk about the money. So it has to go hand in hand with the value that you've added and the value that you're still going to add.
Okay.
Not just what you've added.
What you've brought along, but what also you're going to bring, like, and more
Exactly.
value.
Because it has to be continuous. Remember that continuous growth, processes are evolving, companies are growing.
Technology as well.
Technology is growing, evolving as well. So how are you going to evolve as the company and the technology evolve? So it's not just about what you did before, it's also about what you're going to bring in the future, so which is quite important.
So you also spoke about aligning with your manager. Now I know some of us, we want to be those people that are not under supervision, or we want to be independent. Once you put there in your CV, I'm an independent worker, I can work by myself, and I can do this. now talk about aligning to your manager. What does that look like?
I mean, every company has a strategy or something that they're focusing in each year, and there's a yearly business plan that every company has. So now with the tasks that you have planned for the year, they have to be aligned with the company strategy.
Okay.
So therefore, it's quite important that your strategy is aligned with your manager's strategy. You know, people like to show off to say, I did this, I did that, I did that. But is it aligned with your manager's goals? Remember, your manager also has like goals that he or she wants to achieve within a specific period for the company, for the year. So it's quite vital that you always align your goals with your manager's goals. And if maybe your so make sure that it's aligned basically, and your manager's goals are always a priority, because that's how you will then fall under the 20% if you're achieving all your manager's goals. I always say, try to stay in the present, from the book that I read called The Present, talking about how you should stay in the present, because we go into a lot of discussions with our manager about you know, the work that you do, but not looking at what the manager wants. Okay. What is it that the manager wants? So that's why it's quite important that your work is aligned with what the manager wants. Always understand what are the goals for the manager, and then add on top of what your initiatives. I mean, initiatives are great. It's not only what your manager is giving you, it's also what initiatives are you bringing. But those initiatives must be an additional to what the strategy of your manager has, or the vision that the manager has for the division, or the department rather. So it has to be aligned. Yeah.
This is very important information, because I mean, we just want to go to the manager and be like, by the way, I feel, you know, but having these insights and having this information that you're sharing with us today can position us to be people that are also having open-ended conversations with the manager. You know, we also have that where someone might say there's an open door policy, and but then sometimes you feel as though as an employee you can't approach your manager with that. So having that alignment, aligning your goals with the goals of the company and the manager's goals will help a great deal, I feel. You know, that having that open door policy, that is, it can be tricky sometimes as well, because then you don't know how to approach the manager or the person in the supervision role.
For me, I always say it's not tricky. You need to understand how an environment operates. Okay. That's your number one, that should be your number one goal. Okay. Learn and study how the environment works. Understand how your manager works. Okay. Because managers operate differently. So you need to understand how they operate, understand what their goals are. What is it that they're looking for? Fully understand what they are looking for. Wow. And, you know, there are different managers as well. Some managers are policy driven, and some managers are very much flexible with whatever that you bring. They look at it, and it's basically policy versus logical. Yeah. And if you're operating with a manager that's like policy driven, so whatever that you present to your manager should be within the policy guidelines. And then if you are a very logical person, and then you want to override policy, and you know your manager is policy driven, why are you getting frustrated over something that you can't control? If your manager is literally just policy driven, then work with that, because that's what you have at that current position. And we like to stress ourselves over things that we can't control. I always say focus more on the things that you can control. That's why alignment is quite important. And from aligning, we spoke about aligning your understanding what your manager's goals are. Also, you should also have your own goals and make sure that they're aligned with your manager, because you don't only want to focus on what your manager is doing or what your manager wants, but also what do you want for yourself to set, what goals do you want to achieve for yourself as well within that position that you have.
I'm loving this, and I wish we could do this all day, but unfortunately we can't do it all day. But these are the insights, and these are the information that we need, and it's also with the young people as well. You know, one thing that I wish LO, as an example, could do, having such career chats as well, and not just do like job shadowing. I remember in grade 11 I did a job shadow, and then I was looking back and I'm like, but what the job shadow that I did and what I'm doing today is it's sort of similar but completely opposite at the same time. So those type of things we are needing in this day and age. Can you let us know, what are you perhaps in planning currently? What do you have lined up for? If any listener wants to connect with you, how can they connect with you as well?
I actually have a career fair drive. I'm going to different schools in Buffalo City municipality to talk about anything career, and also what to expect when they go into corporate, if they want, or when they want to start their own business. I mean, our focus is not only on going into corporate, so our biggest focus is really to you know, like show learners how to choose careers, and choosing a career starts with understanding who you are as a person, and that's also where you are in life now. If you are working, you need to know who you are as a person. I think we overlook learning more on who we are and focusing on what our purpose is, and really don't have much alignment with our purpose or alignment with God, and that also distracts us in choosing what we want in life. So now with career choices, it has to be aligned with what we want, not really what our friends want, because we get easily influenced, or family. Yes, we get easily influenced by friends, by family. So we want to really go into different schools and teach them on how to choose careers that are aligned with who they are, and also looking at the current economy. I mean, things keep evolving, careers that are in demand keep changing. So now how do they choose careers that are relevant to the current economic state, yeah. And also not only looking at choosing careers that would bind them to be in South Africa. The world is,
oyster, they say.
Yes, and now it's so easy to connect in, in other areas. And I also have so apart from the career roadshow that we'll be doing, so I'm actually still open for schools that are interested in having us. I do have some few schools that we'll be visiting.
Nice.
And then I do have a mentorship program where I've got about 11 mentees.
Nice.
Some are in high school, some are in varsity, some are doing their internship. So this week's focus is networking, so which is quite important. Yeah.
If you would like to connect with Cordani, you can follow her on the various social media platforms. I know she is on LinkedIn, she is on Facebook, she is on TikTok, she is on Instagram. So if you want to know her details, please do send me a WhatsApp, and I'll gladly share them with you. But it is Cordani H, if I'm not mistaken, and we will definitely share those different platforms with you via the WhatsApp line in case you want to get a hold of her. And you can also email her on Gmail. So send me a WhatsApp, and I'll share the Gmail details with you, your email address, and she will assist you. If you want to review your CV, you want to prepare for an interview you perhaps have lined up, you can get in contact with her. She's such a blessing to us, and I agree with you as well, Pastor Nkwanwe. He says this message, hi, he says the lady you have there in the studio is such a blessing. I agree, Mfundis, I agree indeed. Mama Pumla Mati says, hi Bantu, please send me the details. Thanks, I will gladly do that for you. And then hey, she says, morning, the roadshow, will it be primary and secondary school? She's asking that question.
Secondary schools.
It will be secondary schools, all right? Okay. So if you want to know more about that as well, I will get you in contact with Cordani. And that's how I'm going to wrap up climbing the career ladder this week.
Yes.
Last thing,
I would like to leave you with 3 books that can help you to self-develop, which is the 5 a.m. Club. It helps me a lot in personal growth, and the 7 Spiritual Law of Success, and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So it starts with you. You have to work on your self-development, and the rest will fall into place. So all the best.
Thank you.